I'm Dr. Cyndi Burnett, Creativity and Education Specialist.
And I'm Barney Saltzberg, children's book author and illustrator and songwriter.
So Barney, today we're going to be talking about flexibility. Are you ready?
Let me see. Yes, I am flexible. Yes.
So Barney, let's talk about flexibility. What is flexibility? When you think of the word flexibility, what do you think of?
Well, I was kind of joking about physical, but I think it's helpful, at least in my visual mind, to imagine being bendable and not being stiff. And if you kind of play that out with creativity, it kind of makes sense that you're not just saying, this is the way things are. I'm willing to be flexible and bend and see what else I can create.
Excellent. And when you think about this, what we call cognitive flexibility, which is your mind expanding in different ways, have you ever had an experience in writing children's books where you come up with a character that you love and then all of a sudden your editor comes back and says, nope, we would like this instead, and can you share that with us?
Well, there's so many things. I mean, it happens in every project I've ever written. Whether it's an editor saying, we'd like you to try changing this. I think part of being flexible is a willingness, and because usually when I create, and I think this is fairly common with people, we get attached to it and we're like, this is the way it is. And if someone were to come and say, how about if we change this to something else? The knee-jerk response usually is no, but I've learned, and I think it's a great lesson for people to learn to say, let me sleep on it, let me try it. Because sometimes you try things that you hadn't expected and it's actually better, sometimes it's not. But a flexibility in willingness to try. And I always talk about Maurice Sendak because we all know where the wild things are. And when he tried to do that book, his original idea was called Where the Wild Horses Are.
Oh.
He wanted a book with horses. He didn't feel that his drawings of horses were good enough to replicate what he had in mind. And because of that, his flexibility allowed him to try making another character, which ended up to be a wild thing. And we all know what happened with that. So having flexibility is pretty important.
Okay, so are you ready to try a little activity to practice cognitive flexibility?
No, I'm not in the mood to be flexible. Yes, of course I am. Yes.
Great. So why don't you share your screen with us, Barney?
I was going to suggest that. Okay. Can you see white?
Yes, I can see white. So
Okay.
what we'd like you to do now is draw a picture of a bird. So for those of you watching at home, think of a bird that you've seen over the summer and draw it for us. And it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be any kind of bird that you would like to draw. Are you ready?
This is not a bird I've seen over the summer, but yes.
Okay, go. Welcome back. Barney, did you name your bird?
No, but I'm going to call him Flexi.
Flexi. Oh, Flexi's so cute. So this next thing I'm going to have you do is not going to feel really comfortable. And what I'd like you to do is put a line through Flexi.
Ah! Okay. Wow. Okay. So this is when you have to be flexible. I'm just going to go. I'm going to actually make a little thicker line so that it really stands out.
Okay.
And I'm just going to close my eyes and go, yeah!
Wow. And how did that feel, putting the line through it?
Kind of freeing, actually. I mean, it clearly, I could say ruined, but changed my drawing dramatically. And that, you know, I think most people would say, I need a new piece of paper. This is not what I meant to do. But because we're being flexible, I have to try something else.
Okay, so that's your next task. What I'd like you to do, Barney, is take your picture and build that strike, that line, into your bird picture. Are you ready? I'm going to give you 2 minutes.
I have no idea what I'm going to do, but yes.
Okay, go.
Okay.
How did you do, Barney?
You know, if I were coming up with the concept of drawing a bird in a boat in the water from the beginning, it would look different.
Mm-hmm.
But considering that this was something that I had to adjust because I had that weird line going through my picture, it's a good idea. And part of you know, being an illustrator, which is something I do, is not everything I do is the finished piece of art. This would set as an example of what I'd like to then try to redraw with this in mind. But I think considering I was doing an exercise in flexibility, I didn't crack. I was able to bend. I think it was all right. What do you think?
I think it looks fantastic. Would you like to give Flexi a new name, the whole picture?
A new name now that he's Flexi the Sailor?
Flexi the Sailor. So you've added on to his name, you've elaborated, and you were flexible when I asked you to change direction.
Yes.
Excellent. So we hope you give this activity a try back at home. And the next time you have a situation where you're writing or you're drawing and creating some sort of beautiful artwork, if things don't go the way you planned or something changes, try your cognitive flexibility skills and try to turn it into something else that is worthwhile and beautiful. Thanks so much for joining Barney and I today.
Thanks for having me over to draw. It was fun.
And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
Bye.